and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn, and welcome back to the podcast, everybody. We took a week off from...
I had a cold.
Yeah. Well, we
did pretty bad cold, actually.
Yeah, Jen was pretty worn out. Her voice was...
I literally had no voice. Probably would have been a bad thing for me to try to talk.
Yeah, that podcast would not have been great.
Nope.
But we did take the week off from just going through the Spectre, which I guess technically we finished.
Oh yeah, it was a two-parter.
It was technically two. I mean, I was intending to do three.
Sure.
Just the way the schedule was, but it was convenient that we covered those two books because the next one was like I feel like it was like an interlude story, something that has to do with Zatanna. Which maybe we'll get to. I think I remember reading it and it was pretty wacky.
Sure.
So maybe we'll get to that at some point. But there is some stuff coming up to talk about with Daredevil. There's a new Daredevil TV show or Disney Plus program that's coming out the Tuesday that this after this episode drops.
Yep.
So we'll cover that. And but I did take the time too as well to pilot something, and on the podcast last week I did something called what I think the title I'm going to call it Final Issue Blues.
Okay.
Fib. Because I have a fascination with final issues.
I've noticed
of comics. Yes. I don't know why. I just like when things in comics end.
Sure.
And try to understand reasons why. I like reading Wikipedia and being like, all right, how did this person die?
Right.
I don't know. It's not, not any disrespect for the person. It's just, I'm just curious, like, how did this famous actor, what was this famous actor doing towards the end, or I don't know, just, I get interested.
Right.
So I decided to kind of do that with comics.
Well, that's exciting.
And we covered a Blue Beetle, volume 6, the final issue of that. It was pretty good. I actually kind of, you can go through the episode and listen for yourself, but it was fun to go through that book and just like, be like, oh, okay, would I have liked to have read more of this if this wasn't canceled, or if I don't want to go back and read it? Does this tie things up? Does this feel like a final issue, or is it something that they were just like, oh, I guess this book is over, so we're just going to end it?
Right.
In this case, they kind of knew it was coming. They did a lot of stuff in there was wrapped up pretty succinctly, which is very obvious when you read it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and listen to that. I would highly encourage it. And I'm hoping to do more of those. I'm hoping to kind of find a way to really integrate that into like a regular schedule of things. And I guess really not a whole lot going on other than Jen's been convalescing and I've been playing WWE 2K26.
Yes, the game came out.
The game came out and I've been creating some guys. I already got a Batman and a Superman.
Very exciting.
I made a Superman with the mullet.
Oh, good.
Because that's the second costume I'm making here.
We love a Superman with a mullet.
We sure do. And let's see, who do I got so far? So I created a Blue Beetle, a Ted Cord, which used some parts that I sourced from online, like just pictures of his costume. So I was able to kind of put that together, and I think it looks pretty good.
Nice.
I was actually really impressed with that. I did a booster gold that I kind of had to jerry rig in some ways because of the parts that are available.
Sure.
Because I decided I want to work with Extreme Justice.
Okay.
The book, the team from the 90s that came after Justice League of America.
Okay.
When Captain Atom was like, you know what? Y'all are bullshit. I'm starting my own team.
Fuck you losers.
That's basically what it was, and him and Booster and Beetle. And then Maxima was there, so I made a Maxima. I made a Captain Atom, and then I also made a Firestorm. Firestorm was there, but Firestorm gets cancer. That sucks. But he gets better.
Oh, he got better.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was like, wait, I didn't know Firestorm got cancer.
Yeah, he did, and then he got better, but then he exploded later.
Oh well, that happens.
And then so I still have Amazing Man. I was gonna try to work on. So there's that, but then I also worked on some Batman because I got a lot of action figures that I can reference, so it's easier to do that than just look at pictures. So I've been doing. I somehow I'll have to show you because I haven't shown you. I created a Ballant Catwoman.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know if it's not exactly the way I want it.
Sure.
But it's as good as it's going to get.
Hey folks, I want to tell you about Magazines and Monsters, a podcast that's dedicated to comic books as well as classic horror and sci-fi films. This podcast channel contains a bunch of shows like the Bronze Age of Horror Comics, a podcast that's, well, it's about Bronze Age horror comics. There's also The Brave and the Bob, a show celebrating Volume 1 of The Brave and the Bold from DC Comics and all things Bob Haney. But hey, let's not forget the main show itself, Magazines and Monsters, which rotates between old-school horror and sci-fi films with a heavy emphasis on the British studios Hammer and Amicus. Plus, you'll get a selection of episodes about comic books, ranging from DC to Marvel and everything in between. So join your host Billy D and a few of his favorite friends for a fun and positive look at his 2 favorite pastimes. Find Magazines and Monsters now on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, well, I've just been sick, and it has sucked. But I am better. Well, I'm getting better, anyway. But we'll leave all that aside to talk about our book for today, which is not Spectre. It is Daredevil.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Daredevil today because the Daredevil Born Again series...
Which we still have not watched, by the way.
I think I've only watched the 2 seasons that were on Netflix.
Yeah, same.
But I haven't gotten into the 3rd. I didn't follow up.
I heard it was really good. It's just, for some reason, I've just never...
Because it's just too much.
Maybe that's what it is. And when I'm sitting around like, oh, what should I watch? It never dawns on me to watch it.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad or anything. It just doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, right.
Because I do think I would enjoy it.
Sure.
I just haven't figured it out yet.
I know.
And, they brought it back with the Born Again, which I don't know if we covered that. The last time we covered Daredevil, we covered that in relation to that.
I don't know. We never watched it, so I don't know.
No. We covered that. That's to say, but we covered we talked about Daredevil, the comic.
Probably. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. So that's been out.
Yep.
And then there's a new one coming out, and I don't know. I mean, I've
heard good things.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be great. There's going to be some, I don't know. Maybe we'll see some of the characters we get from this book that appear.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure how much of the Inhumans are going to show up on Daredevil, but who knows? Again, I haven't been watching it.
Well, that's the thing. The Inhumans had a chance in the Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then there was a one-off like show.
Okay.
Or like I don't know what it was. It was.
Oh, you're right.
I
do. Yes, I do.
That I don't know if it's even available to watch. Like that's one of those it's one of those like random like things that Marvel did.
That's a really good question. I don't know.
Like Cloak and Dagger, or Hellstorm. Like you remember they made a Hellstorm series.
I remember we watched it.
I don't think we watched all of it.
We didn't, but we did watch a couple.
But I watched some of it. It's like or like the New Mutants movie. It's like stuff like that. That's like,
man, that New Mutants movie.
It came out in a not in like the 90s,
right?
Oh
yeah, no, this was like part of the superhero boom, but it's just like nobody remembers it or it didn't hit.
It just somehow
yeah
flew under this radar because it wasn't a part of like any of these bigger like sweeping initiatives,
right?
And that's where those things end up, which kind of sucks because like some of those characters I like,
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, maybe it'd be great to see them be revisited, but but the thing is though, if you brought them back in like a Daredevil, people would be like, what?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could do that, like say with like Blade, or you did that with like Elektra, in the Daredevil movie, and people are like, oh shit, I remember that, but otherwise, people don't really, there's a lot of stuff that people don't care about.
It's true.
But in this book,
people care about things?
Maybe. We are talking about Daredevil, number 275 from December 1989. And we are smack dab in the middle of the Acts of Vengeance storyline.
Can you explain this to me?
Yes.
Because I do not know anything about this event.
Right. And I like this event a lot because it's based in randomness.
Okay.
Because essentially what happens is Loki, who is pretending to be somebody else, but he's like, hey, other main supervillains. So he goes to like Doctor Doom, Kingpin, I think Magneto, and Red Skull.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, we always get our asses kicked.
Womp womp.
You guys get your asses kicked. Things be fucking up.
Yeah.
But that's because we always fight the same dudes. How about
we switch dudes?
We switch dudes.
Oh man.
We take different character, our some guys that we fight, and we send them to like other heroes. So in certain cases, you have everyone I remember is like, I think Quasar fights Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's kind of like an early Venom, so like it's before he was super over.
Okay.
So he didn't really do much there. But then he also fights the Absorbing Man, and it's really weird because Absorbing Man like absorbs the Negabands.
Okay.
It's really weird because he's got like all the nodes on him. It's really kind of gross actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Punisher actually I think fights Dr. Doom.
Okay.
Or a bunch of Doom bots.
Doom bots.
Yes.
Okay.
And Wolverine fights Tiger Shark.
Uh-huh.
Because that's normally like a Namor villain. But he's like, well, how about you? Hey, Wolverine, why don't you fight this shark?
Okay.
And then there's Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets those cosmic powers he had for a while.
Okay.
This. But he takes on like a Sentinel thing, or like the Tri-Sentinel. There's somebody else. Like a bunch of it's a lot of randomness.
Sure.
And I like that.
Okay.
I like the just unique properties. Actually, I have the book in front of me, so I could probably should actually think like the Hulk fights the Gray Gargoyle.
Okay.
And he turns the Hulk into stone.
Nice.
The stone. Doctor Strange fights Hobgoblin.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of interesting matchups in here, and it gets pretty silly. And in this particular case, Daredevil faces off against Ultron.
Yes.
Because normally Ultron is fucking with the Avengers.
Of course. So but the way I'm understanding this is they were just like, hey, I was getting my ass kicked by the Avengers. How about I fight Daredevil for a while?
Well, in this case...
Isn't that the basic idea of this?
Well, yes. But although in this case, it's Dr. Doom being like, all right, I have all these Ultron pieces.
Yes.
How about I send it off to Daredevil and see what happens? Daredevil's just a blind guy.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. He doesn't have like a power.
Right.
Other than like his senses.
Right.
So what's he going to do against an adamantium robot?
Well, apparently the adamantium robot gets distracted, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that as we go.
Right. So the story itself is written by Nocenti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's one of your favorites.
Well, no, she kind of went nuts because she used to be like good, and I don't know what happened by the time she got on Catwoman.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people,
because she was like a huge deal.
She was a big deal in the 80s. Like she
invented characters, and like people loved her.
Her Daredevil run, like she did a lot for this stuff. Like, kind of like bridged, the way it was probably the most interesting he was, at least for me that I can tell, he was that up until you got to like the mid 90s, and then Frank Miller kind of redid some stuff and whatever. So that, and John Romita Jr. Has done the pencils, and Al Williamson as the inker. So the cover is Ultron he is holding
Daredevil
by the throat, and he is stepping over a Karnak and Gorgon of the Inhumans.
Yes. The way Gorgon is drawn here, though, he just looks like his head is on the ground and he is just like pounding his fist.
Yeah, he's upset because like his football team lost.
It's
so
exactly what it looks like.
He's having a really
like,
dramatic reaction to
right?
To the Bills losing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening
game.
there.
Yeah, he's upset. But Dr. Doom is holding his head, and he's like, all right, Kingpin always loses to Daredevil, but he probably does it because he likes Daredevil.
Because he loves Daredevil.
He loves him.
He's his best friend.
They are buddies, and that's why he kind of like
BFFs.
jobs to him.
Yeah.
So he's like, but I
do not have that connection.
I don't have the connection, so I'm going to use...
I say fuck Daredevil.
Yes, and I'm going to use his robot to put this together.
Yep.
Put this together. And this is all Dr. Doom talking to himself.
Pretty much.
And he's like, look, I need to put together this Ultron 13 because
apparently there have been 12 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 12. Yeah, 12 proper incarnations.
Incarnations, yes.
And the one, the 12, the 12 is more of like, I guess would be the spiritual one.
It seems like a nice one.
The nice one.
Yeah, like a buddy. It's almost like Nice Pool.
Yes.
In the Deadpool movie, like I think that's what we're kind of looking at this point.
Yeah, so he's doing that, but then he's also like, well, but then I can combine it with like number 11, who like loves murder, and we'll see what happens. And he's like, I like him being like, he's like, have I created the correct mix? Yes, I must have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I did good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did great.
I will say though, I don't know if you noticed this picture here. Dr. Doom is looking at me. He's looking at us.
Oh yeah, he's like got his head down, but he's kind of like looking at the viewer.
Yeah, because because he's not looking at the robot.
No,
he's kind of just looking up at us.
Like,
I'm like, don't look at me.
Hey, viewer.
Hey,
how's it going?
You want to know what I'm doing?
Hi.
I'm making a sensitive robot that wants to kill.
Absolutely. What else would you do with your time? You want
to see how it goes?
You want to see? It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Why don't you come over here? I'll show you.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't get near this. There's a lot of pointy. There's a lot of like, I don't even know what all these machines are.
There's just a lot of them, and then there's also like a lot of like drawn on the side, almost like almost like energy. There's like a lot of orange and black.
Well, that's the stuff that comes
and,
out of like Ultron. He's just constantly like spewing,
which is gross.
Yeah, he's just full.
I would say that's probably that's an indication that he's broken.
Yeah,
like if you turn something on, it's just like and like spewing orange and black circles. You'd probably turn that off.
Yeah, and he kind of, and it's funny because the Ultron has all of the previous, personalities.
Well, it seems like they're all individuals inside of Ultron.
Yeah,
and so they're just going to argue with each other.
Yeah,
which is what they kind of do.
But this one kind of like realizes like, hey, I think because humans made me and they're flawed, I am therefore flawed.
A lot of big philosophical questions
right.
In this book here.
So Dr. Doom, so Ultron 13 comes to sentience, and Dr. Doom is like, and he's actually thinking a whole bunch too, because he's like, oh. Ultron 11 in me wants to like kill, but Ultron 12 wants to embrace.
Yeah.
It's like, so you want to give him a hug? Like
it's weird. I'm not sure how they interact with anything when they're just like one wants to do this but the other one doesn't. So how is it not just pure inaction?
Ultron 8 wants to get a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the fat Ultron.
Fat Ultron. I wish there was fat Ultron.
FATRON.
What? Oh, FATRON. I'd love a FATRON. Could you imagine, like, in that movie, there's, like, the James Spader one, and he's, like, trying to kill stuff, but, like, FATRON is just, like, sitting there getting a gyro, waiting for the like, you guys liked gyros,
like,
right?
they're destroying that area, but then there's, like, a restaurant across town. He's just standing in line waiting with, like, a ticket for, like, his lunch.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just hungry.
He's like, I don't really want to kill anybody on an empty stomach.
He's the last one that because you know how, like, at the very end, there's, like, that last one that's, like, crawling, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
that's FATRON.
FATRON would be the last one. He'd just be sitting there and be like...
And that's only because he got there late.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, guys, I just finished my lunch. I got like, a box of donuts. You guys want some? It's like, oh, no, I'm being killed.
Well, so, like, do you think FATRON's a yeast donut guy or, like, a cake donut guy?
Probably yeast,
Or do you
because
think, like, both?
Because I feel like you could fill he could have, like, an energy donut.
Oh, yeah.
And you could fill those yeast donuts with, like, those.
He's just like, yeah.
I need these for energy.
I need these for energy. That's exactly what's going on with FATRON.
FATRON.
We love FATRON.
I wish FATRON was real.
Me too.
But Dr. Doom's like, all right. So the robot's like, all right, what do you want me to do? And Dr. Doom's like, well, I want you. So you have information there about. He doesn't say Daredevil. He says a Daredevil.
Like there's more than one of them?
Well, I mean, like, this could be confusing because what if he, like, goes and tries to, like, kill Evil Knievel?
He could be. I mean, he could also be going off those dudes who, like, do parkour up to the top of buildings. Those free climb guys who are insane. Who was that guy that they had that Netflix thing where it was like he's gonna climb a building?
Oh yeah.
And no one cared, and he, like, did it live and, like, freestyle, and, like, literally no one cared.
We suck.
We got other stuff going on.
I know, right?
It's kind of like, hey, dude, climbing a building. That's cool, but we have other things.
I just like the idea. It's like that guy the jumper, the guy that jumped from, like, the top of the world. And do you remember this? Like, it was years ago.
Oh.
Somebody dropped from, like, it was like the highest possible thing, like,
okay.
the space you could jump from in the atmosphere without, like, falling into space.
Okay, yeah.
It's like this Ultron would be waiting for that guy to come down.
Well,
you'd
yeah.
You'd be like, hey, it's taking so long to get down here. It's like,
well, yeah. I mean, that he's not going to exert himself if he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he's just.
That's because FATRON actually smart.
FATRON will drive him there.
Oh, FATRON will 100% drive him there, and then wait in the diner, eating his scramble. What are they?
Oh, he's getting one of those scramble. He's going to, like, a Waffle House.
Yeah, and he's getting those, like, scramble hash browns or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, hi. Can I get these chunked?
Oh, yeah.
Chunked
absolutely.
and smothered?
It's chunked and smothered, and then people just start fighting all around him, and he just doesn't even notice. He just keeps eating. He reaches over to the guy who's currently fist fighting and just takes his waffle and just, like, eats it. He's like,
there's an episode
he's
of
like, this guy isn't going to eat it. Oh.
There's an episode of Cops where there's, like, a disturbance at, like,
a Waffle House.
A Waffle House, and, like, there's a FATRON's just there. And they're
FATRON
like,
just...
It's like, sir, what did you see? It's like, I mean, you're a murderous robot, but, like... did you have anything to do with this? Like, no, I was just eating.
I was happily eating this, and he's just playing shit off the jukebox. Having a real good time.
He's having a great time.
Just playing, like, The Calling over and over again.
The Calling?
Yeah.
Wherever you may go.
While he's eating his smothered hash browns.
Do you remember, I don't know, do you remember the one fact, I don't know if it was that band or if it was the band that was before that band?
The band that was before that band?
The band The Calling. Because there was a thing where it was like when that band came out and people were like, hey, did you know that the singer, he's like 20, but, like, in the band he was before, there was a guy that was 60.
No, I do not. I have no recollection.
That was the thing. Because
I just remember, like, that guy being like, roar, and then you look at him and he's like the most baby-faced person you've ever seen.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, but that was a thing where, like, when we were on the radio and we was like, oh, hey, you got to talk about this band. Somehow it's like, oh, I guess he knew an old guy once, you know?
Oh my God, guys, breaking news. This guy knew an old guy.
That was the thing. I remember that.
He knew an old guy.
It was like, could you believe there's a 60-year-old man and a 20-year-old man on stage together?
Can you imagine that young people know old people?
That was the thing.
That's very funny.
We had nothing to talk about back then. So Dr. Doom's like, all right, you know what? Just test your weapons or whatever. I got to go.
Yeah.
And now
we got shit to do.
So now we're in upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
So what's been going on with Daredevil?
Well, apparently he's in an attic filled with skulls.
Right. That is true.
Because he met a spooky goth girl who's also an artist who loves skulls.
Right.
Yeah.
But what has happened is Daredevil had some shit go wrong for him, prior to this, and he went, you know what?
Fuck it.
Fuck everything. I'm hitting the road. I'm going to upstate New York. I'm going to Woodstock.
Okay.
Or wherever this is. I don't know. I can imagine it's too far away.
It's Woodstock-ish.
Woodstock-ish.
Yeah.
He's going to the, Glens Falls.
Yep.
And he is up there, he's up there just dicking around. There's this girl he meets, this Brandy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brandy, her father, Skip, the mustache man.
Skip. Uh-huh.
Skip Ash. Skip Ash.
Skippish.
Skip Ash.
Sure.
He is a mad scientist.
I was going to say scientist of some sort.
Who has this animal farm where he tests animals.
Great.
And also
creates daughters.
Sometimes humans.
Yeah, because Brandy's a robot.
No.
Number 9 is a robot.
Number 9 is a robot. So
it's hard to keep them trained.
Yeah, Brandy is the one with the carrot, it looks like
with the red hair.
She has like the Doonesbury nose for some reason in the one picture.
Yeah.
But so she was like, "Hey Daredevil, could you like help?" And
he's like, "Yeah."
I was like, "All right, I guess, I'm on new adventures now." But during whatever they were doing, I don't know if it's kind of like 28 Days Later.
Sure.
But they, instead of unleashing a rabid monkey, they unleashed a subservient robot.
Okay.
Because apparently this girl, this number 9,
who has crazy hair.
Yeah, we'll get to this.
We'll talk about her hair.
Inhumans show up though, because they're looking for Black Bolt and Medusa's son. Because they had this child. They normally would just have it on the moon and it would be cool. But they had it like without the blessing of the council.
Okay.
Or whatever. Although I'm like, but Black Bolt's like the leader, I guess.
Sure.
So I'm like, what does he fucking care? So they had this baby, but they had the baby on Earth.
Okay.
And then the baby somehow ended up with a family in New York somewhere. And Karnak and Gorgon are looking for this baby. And somehow there was some sort of lead that brought them to this place. And now here we are
at a farmhouse.
At a farmhouse, Daredevil's sitting around with a bunch of skulls and
looking quite sad.
Looking very sad. Yeah, he's pouting hard here.
He really is.
And he's upstairs and he's listening to everybody talk downstairs.
Yeah.
And
he's like, I don't care about any of this. I don't care about these people's problems.
He's like, why do I got to deal with these problems?
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to like get away from everything, and this kind of like leads him to be like, you know what? I guess I'm going back to the city.
Yeah.
Because this upstate life is not for me.
Nope.
But
I gotta go get a nice pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You they don't got no good pie. I mean, the pie is not as good as it is.
It's definitely not
Hell's
good
Kitchen.
pie. Yeah.
But Gorgon's, they're there with Lockjaw, who is their dog that transports them.
Mm-hmm.
And Daredevil's just kind of like, he's like, man, everything's so absurd. I was a normal kid. I just wanted to practice law. And now, like, the king of the moon took the queen's evil child, and the giant dog is teleporting home to the moon.
This dog is insane.
Oh, yeah. Lockjaw's kind of adorable.
He's very adorable, but at the same time, it's like, wait.
He's very big. He's been, terraformed, by the mists.
Oh, the Terrigen Mists.
Terrigen Mists. So he was like just a regular puppy.
The only thing I ever think of now when I hear the Terrigen Mists, do you know that Jackie Cation bit where she's like, the Terrigen Mists are coming for me. Like now they're coming. And if you're not reading the Marvel Inhumans, I mean middle-aged lady time. So that is literally every time I think of the Terrigen Mists, I think of Jackie Cation saying that.
Yeah. No, she's got a point.
She does have a point.
She makes that's good ideas.
She's so funny.
Jackie. I wonder if Jackie Cation's up to these days. She's great.
She just put out a new album.
Oh, she said she goes hard on the road, man.
Oh yeah, no, she is like.
Well, she always would open for Maria Bamford, so yeah.
Yeah, she is a road comic to her core.
Yeah, no, she's great though.
Yeah, she is.
So he's sitting there in this, thinking about all this, and we're downstairs paying attention to this. Okay. So you have the Brandy, who has in this one thing. So number 9 is a robot.
Yes.
What does number 9 look like? How do you describe what she's wearing?
What she's wearing? Oh, she is definitely wearing one of those weird ass one leg outfits. So it's basically like a bodysuit, with the tank top type top, but then it's missing a leg. And it's red, white, and blue.
It's an American flag.
Yeah, she is. It is like if Kurt Angle had a lady wrestler hanging out with him, this is what she would wear.
This is actually an outfit that I think somebody needs to recreate this.
Yeah.
This is the one-legged stuff.
The one-legged it's not something you commonly see.
No, Zack Ryder tried the one-legged stuff for a while.
It's weird.
There's a lot. Anytime somebody would show up with the one-legged stuff, you'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with the other leg that it couldn't be covered, or why is the other leg covered? Unless if like you're like one of those people who was like, hey, I got like a knee brace, but I really like wearing trunks.
Sure.
So how about I just split the difference and cover the knee brace?
Sure.
So I don't look like I'm not cool like Steve Austin and wear like the bionic knee braces. But I need to wear something.
I mean, those knee braces Steve Austin wears are like fucking insane.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. It's just they are the most. It's like they're like Forrest Gump leg braces.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But and also Brandy or number 9 because she doesn't have a name. I keep wanting to call her Brandy because she seems like a Brandy.
She looks like a Brandy.
Number 9 has the biggest hair
and it's going everywhere. Like it's so huge. It's like 8 wigs like stitched together, and then she puts it on, but then it like goes in her face from the back. It's a little bit much. So whoever created her like went too hard on the wig.
Well, so it's the guy with the mustache. He's the one that put this together. Actually, hang on. Actually, I'm incorrect. She's not a cyborg.
She's just a flat out robot.
No, she was an actual woman that came across Skip Ash, and Skip Ash was like, "Hey, you want to hang out with me?" And she's like, "Sure." And then he like experimented on her and turned her into this.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem to remember any of that because we do have the whole she has no clue.
Yeah, she has no clue. She has no memories, but she just knows that she wants to be a subservient robot and be a homemaker. But the daughter, Brandy, is like giving her speeches about feminism.
Yeah. Well, probably because this woman was experimented on and has been turned into a robot.
Yeah, there's a lot of
who does not remember anything about her own life.
But also, yeah, it's the Stepford Wives shit.
It is kind of weird, yeah. It is.
But we also have to talk about describe what Skip Ash looks like. I keep referring to him as Mustache Man, but there's more. I
thought he was a different guy.
No.
Which one is Skip Ash?
This guy.
Oh, that guy. I did not I kind of just went past him because I didn't understand why anyone would look like that. He looks like if John C. Reilly was making fun of somebody in like a movie. And he put on a huge like old-timey mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like Chest Rockwell, but like now.
Yeah. 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 It's literally his John C. Reilly character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very, very, very good. So yeah, the Daredevil is just like, why do I care? I should get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Ultron, we come back to Ultron. Ultron's like, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to like fix a bunch of these heads, these spare heads that I have. And he also, because he's got the humanitarian side of him, he misses his wife. He misses Jocasta, who was his wife, who he created years ago. And she's been destroyed or whatever, or consciousness or whatever. So I just love this picture, this drawing of.
Oh, Ultron just like because he puts all his heads in a thing.
He puts it in a bindle.
Yeah, because like while all that's going on in the farmhouse, Ultron's just making heads.
Yeah.
And he throws them in the thing.
Yeah.
And he just like literally like puts the sack over his head, over his shoulders, like, all right, other heads. Because I think he makes like 300 of them.
He makes like 300 heads, and then he goes to wherever the transport takes him to where Daredevil is.
Yeah.
And just, he creates the Bone Temple.
Basically.
Yeah. Basically, like he just has a bunch of like heads with sticks on them, or sticks with heads on them.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh, high tech, also pagan, something. And you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't really know his point here, but.
But back at the farm or whatever, Daredevil's like, all right, you know what? I'm going back to New York.
Yeah.
And what's her face? Number 9 comes in and is like, hey, do you see this Gorgon guy? He's pretty cool. And Gorgon's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're all right. I'm here. Yeah. And so, which is like, I'm like, why does Gorgon care about anything? Like, he's there on business, and she's just like, hey, come upstairs with me with Daredevil, and I want to show him that you exist.
I guess.
And so she starts blabbering about her programming and about, and how she should be, she's like, I don't know who I am, but I'm programmed to want to be subservient, to be a trad wife, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know why I do that. And Gorgon actually makes a point. He's like, number 9, everyone is programmed to some degree. Everyone is raised by parents, by environment, by status. None of us is sure who we are.
Yep.
And I was like, all right,
yeah.
Thank you, Hoof Man.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
I don't really. What is on his head?
Oh, it's just like a thing.
Just a thing?
He's like a headdress.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's just like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna wear.
This is what I look like.
This is what I look like. But yeah, she starts like throwing it because Daredevil's like, I'm gonna leave, and she's like, oh no, I want you to stay, and she's just throwing his clothes around.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh no, you're unpacked, you can't leave. That makes me so happy, and everybody's like, this is weird.
Yeah, and now finally, Ultron is like, hey, you know what? I guess I should kill Daredevil. I guess.
Like, not doing anything.
What's FATRON up to? I wish I could talk to him.
Maybe if I like ask FATRON to like meet me at Denny's, he'll come.
FATRON's at like a chicken festival. It's like, that sounds great.
Chicken festival.
Yeah, those things occasionally they would have.
He's at like one of those, the taste of Colorado or whatever, and he's just. He bought all the tickets, and he's got to try everything. He
probably just sits there and drinks, and like, he's one of those dudes where it's like, if you have people are being assholes, like, you could probably step in. It's like nobody could do anything to him because he's an adamantium robot.
Yeah, he's kind of like Hollis from My Bloody Valentine.
Yes, oh man,
where he's just awesome.
Hollistron.
Hollistron, great fucking guy.
I love Hollistron.
We love Hollistron.
Hollistron forever.
Hollistron lives.
Hollistron would, if Hollistron were up against the miner, he would have preserved those hot dogs. So this lady, this number 9, is like, all right, you know what? I'm going for a jog because I like running.
Sure.
I want to run for fun.
I like to run. This is so much fun. And who does she run into? But Ultron.
She runs into the Bone Temple, and she goes, oh, what are these? A bunch of junk toys? And like... And then Ultron 13 is like, he's like, what the fuck? Those all my heads junk. Where's Daredevil? I want to kill.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm going to zap this woman. And he lights her on fire.
Well, he's like, show me the Daredevil. And she's like, never. And he's like, never. And then he just goes, goodbye, number 9.
Yeah.
And annihilates her.
He lights her on fire. And then he's like, oh, wait, I should probably like put her out.
Well, she's still alive because his sensors indicate that she's still alive.
Yeah, so he puts her out, and then she like starts to heal because she has power to do that, I guess. And he's like, wait a second. She is the perfect woman.
An indestructible woman.
Oh my God, she's perfect. She is not flawed.
Oh, I can step on her feeties and they don't break.
Her feeties can step on me.
Step on my feeties. So anyways, the Inhumans are like, all right, I guess we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
And Brandy is like, hey, Daredevil, you want to like help? And he's just kind of like,
he's like,
he literally in his head, he's like, why? Don't, no.
He's like, I don't want to do anything.
I'm trying to go. I literally was packed, and this stupid robot came and threw all my clothes around.
I have a meeting with FATRON.
Yeah, me and FATRON are gonna hang out.
We're gonna hang out, and I'm supposed to meet him at the pizza festival, and I want to try all the different kinds of pizzas, and you people are not letting me leave.
They have cup and char pepperoni at the pizza festival, and I want to go.
I want to try them.
I can smell it.
I can smell it from here.
I can smell it from Woodstock. The humans are like, oh no, we should probably do this on our own, I guess.
Yeah.
And Brandy's like, oh, okay, well, everything's good now, Daredevil. You can leave if you want. And he literally goes, give me a break.
Yeah. Fuck off.
He's like, I didn't need your permission to do anything.
No.
I am Daredevil.
I am Daredevil.
Leave me alone.
Crabby and annoying.
I'm so bummed out. I'm missing the cup and char pepperoni.
Everything is sad right now.
So, and so so we come back to number 9, and she is regenerating. The Ultron is like, he's like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. You're scaring me. And he's like, I got 13 voices in my head. And she's like, oh, well, I'm confused too. I don't know who I am. And she's like, wait a minute. Flaws? I am flawed. She's like, I love flaws. That's what she says. I love flaws.
Uh-huh.
I'm a mess. And then he starts like holding her hand.
Yeah.
And he's like looking at her, and he's just thinking all this shit.
Yep.
And all these voices are like, kill her. And they're like, and then the other voice is like, no,
don't
she's
kill great.
Her. Yeah, I like the last one where it says, we are bloodless. Kill her.
We are bloodless.
But then he's like grabbing her, and he's going full Joel Namath here, because he's like, I want to kiss you.
Yeah, and she's like,
So in his head it's saying kill her, but then he's saying I love you.
Yeah.
He's like, kill her. I love you.
Kill her. I love you.
Kill.
Love.
I guess she's screaming.
Uh-huh.
And Daredevil's like, oh, well, I'm Daredevil. I hear that.
I should probably go check that out.
And he's like, yeah, and then this lady gave me permission to leave, so I guess I could go.
But I hear some screaming.
I guess I should go and do something. And maybe I should ask Brandy first if I could go and check in with the robot that she hates. And he hears, all the electronic voices, but only one heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Because she still has a heart, apparently. Ultron starts freaking out because he's like, Dr. Doom, I wanted to have a relationship, and you told me to do this, and I'm confused.
Yeah.
And he's like shaking her or whatever, but then Daredevil and Gorgon do what's called the high-low.
Okay.
Where they Daredevil like clips him in behind the legs, and Gorgon like stomps on his chest.
Huh.
So that's a wrestle move.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
I see. I was not aware what they were doing.
And Karnak. So do you understand?
No.
What Karnak is about?
I don't understand any of this.
Fair enough. Karnak's thing. He is an Inhuman.
Uh-huh.
And he has Inhuman physiology.
Yep.
But his powers aren't from being exposed to the mists.
Okay.
His power is that he's able to find any flaw.
Okay. But so he's technically a mutant?
No, I guess it's like that's some sort of training he did on the moon as an Inhuman.
Moon training?
Yes, he was doing moon training. He was he was
good old moon training.
He was in G gravity, and he was doing no gravity, and he was doing all that stuff. But his power is like he's able to find the flaw in anything. So like, he would know how to break a table in half.
Oh, he would know exactly where to hit it, where it's the weakest.
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right.
And he could do that for like physiological stuff. So I don't know if he ever just like, he has like the best put downs.
Maybe.
I don't.
So he can like break you psychologically?
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever been known to do that. Because he's more of just fighting.
He should.
Like he's very like, he's a contortionist, and he does all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Although Jean Grey apparently called him the most dangerous Inhuman.
Okay.
But yeah, that's his power. Although I don't know if he does things where he's like, breaking people down by being like, oh, you got a big nose,
Maybe.
Whatever. So, but
you don't fuck.
You don't. So, just real quick today, we came up with a subject about Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah, because the guitarist died yesterday.
That's right. You mentioned, yeah. And so I mentioned we were talking about Lemmy for a second, and something came up about like Triple H
and how he sucks,
and how the Lemmy or Triple H was always be like, man, me and Lemmy were friends. And did you explain what you said?
So I was just like, my hope would be that like Triple H met Lemmy for the first time, and Lemmy's like, "Oh, nice to meet you, fan, whatever." And Triple H leaves the room, and Lemmy just turns to everybody and just goes, "That guy doesn't fuck." Because I feel like that would be the hardest burn from Lemmy that one could ever have.
Which, look, Triple H obviously has fucked. You know, he's has kids. He's done whatever.
But he doesn't fuck.
But he doesn't fuck.
I mean, he's just such a dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's just kind of like you're annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the fun one.
And Lemmy's just like, oh, that guy sucks.
That guy doesn't fuck.
He doesn't fuck. And everybody laughed. It was really funny.
And it was hilarious.
It was fucking hilarious.
It was amazing.
And he would tell everybody.
Yeah.
He told everybody in rock and roll that Triple H doesn't fuck. And everybody was like,
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he does not.
And that's really fucking funny.
So Ultron puts out a big blast and everybody gets thrown. And because Ultron's like, what the fuck? I was trying to like talk to this chick. I was back in game. You know, I was texted FATRON. I was like, hey, I met a chick. I might bring her. We might get some good pie.
Yeah.
You know, save me a spot.
They've got some really good pie at this diner. And it was going to be fun.
I'm bringing a date to the barbecue that you're holding, FATRON, and it's going to be great. But no, he just, he's like, what the fuck? And he explodes. And then he's like, and then he turns back to number 9. He's like, oh, sorry we were bothered, but we are alone again. Come to me.
Yeah, that didn't really go very well for number 9.
No, and she's not exactly enamored with all this.
No, she's like,
because it's like, oh, wait, it's this robot being like, I love you.
But
I want to kiss you.
But the way she's acted up until now, it just seems like she's agreeable to everything. So she should be like, yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, I figured she would just kind of be like,
because it seems like whoever she's talking to, if they're like, this is what I want, she's like, yeah, good idea. Like she doesn't have, like she just goes with it. So I guess that's what's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It is strange.
Yeah, her hair is full of secrets. I guess that's where we are at this point.
Her hair is full of secrets. There's a lot of it.
There's so much of it. It's big and full of secrets.
Oh, anyways, that's how it's going to end for this week.
Yep,
Daredevil number 275 from December 1989. Next week we'll talk about the other part of Daredevil.
Is this a 2-parter or is this a...
Well, it's 2-part. It's the Acts of Vengeance. These are the issues that are... Because I'm reading this from a trade.
Yeah.
I don't have these physical issues, but I have the Acts of Vengeance Marvel Universe trade. And I was like, well, I don't have... We've already covered the Marked for Death issues, and I don't really have any other ones that I can think of, but I knew I had these.
Right.
And it works out great because, we could talk about this for 2 weeks, and maybe people will be interested to hear about... they'll be like, hey, Born Again was pretty great. What else does Daredevil do? And it's like, oh, he hangs out in an attic with skulls. And I
mean, which sounds like a really good idea.
Which actually is pretty great, but he's not as excited for it as he should be.
No, because he's just like, Brandy said like people who are artists really like skulls. And I'm like, oh, so you just met one of those like weird goth chicks who like does art with bones.
Yeah.
And there are definitely those girls out there.
Yeah. Not my thing.
I've never been into it. I'm not a huge bone person, but I get it.
I'm not a bone person.
Not a bone person. But yeah, I get it.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for listening. Find us on Instagram, our socials, just socials. I'm at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. She's at Jen Stansfield.
Yep.
And you can check us out on our YouTube at Worst Collection Ever, where we upload the podcast every week. And also, hopefully, once I get my shit together, we'll do more WWE 2K26 stuff. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. And then also rate and review the podcast anywhere you get it. That would be greatly appreciated. So once again, folks, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.